I am on my way once again to the garage as I believe my power steering may be out. We're gonna find out right now. Thank baby Jesus. It took like 20 minutes and it was free. It was this tiny little thing that they did for me to be nice. And now it works amazing. It was really bad before and now it's amazing. Like the contrast is just blowing my mind. Check this out. Barely any effort whatsoever. That's what it's supposed to be like, not whatever struggling I was doing before. My neighbor's back. So the urine diverter is supposed to go on the bucket, which fits perfectly so long as the seat is not on it. This is a well-known fact. In fact, it comes with instructions that I need to cut little divots into the bucket. So that's what we're going to be doing now. So I have changed locations because, I don't know. But what I've done is I am trying to center it with the handle so that when the lid is on, that I can pull the handle over it. Because if it's like this, it's gonna have a little bit of trouble. So, finding the front, technically, then I lined this up with that, and then I took an X-Acto knife and I basically just scored an outline of where the cuts should be. Now, the obvious problem that I see is that right now it's clipped to the rim, and when I cut this off, there won't be anything for it to clip to, so I'm not really sure how that's going to work. But the instructions say that this is what you're supposed to do. So, let's see. Alright, I did it with an X-Acto knife, and this may need to go lower. I may need to cut it more. I may need to cut in there more. This one looks okay, but I'm going to put the lid on and see what happens. But I just whittled away at it with an X-Acto knife, and it really was not that hard at all. So I dug a little deeper, and now it is basically flush with the top, and it's not working, and I figured out why. Obviously it's not going in right now because I'm not trying, but I was trying, and the reason is because this ridge or whatever goes down low, like I guess whatever this is, like a 1/2 inch. So basically I have to get this part in a 1/2 inch so that this won't be pushing against it. Just want to show you something real quick. So when I got to this point, it is being inhibited by this ledge. So even though the cut is a little lower, it's not going down. So I have to cut some of the ledge like I did on this side so that this will go lower. And if you're not aware of this, you could make the same mistake that I did before, where I just kept cutting on this side, not realizing that the ledge was the problem, and I may have cut a little bit low, but honestly it's gonna be about the same. Either way, because of the width, it's holding it in pretty, like it's not moving, so it's kind of perfect. I'm just gonna cut this ledge, and I think we have it. Okay, so I think I finally got it. Luckily it's sturdy, like luckily the cuts fit perfectly. So we're gonna try the seat and see if it snaps on this time. No. At this point, I'm starting to lose it. Good news! it fits. It actually fits nice and snug, nice and perfect. Even this thing is like not flailing around. So we did it. I have no idea how we did it because we did not measure anything. We literally just went by eye and a little bit of a prayer and just whittled away at it until it made sense. But it works. So I'm just gonna replace the back and we're good to go. I found this in the cabinet and I'm gonna use it in the toilet. So what this is for is to capture the pee, okay? Let's be adults here for a moment. This is a urine diverter which separates the pee from the other stuff. So you pee in there and then the pee goes into this jug which will be underneath that. This tube is going to connect the two of them, but I'm gonna cut like a little piece off. So the first thing that we have to do is outline the size of the tube and cut a hole that's just the right size so this goes in nice and snug. What I did was I held the tube in place where I want to put the hole and I just traced it with a pen. So now we're going to take an X-Acto knife and we're going to cut the hole. The X-Acto knife is not really working, so instead I'm just going to get a drill bit and drill a hole and then cut around that hole. I made a bunch of holes to try to make it go faster, and I realized something while I was trying these different drill bits, because the first one that I put on with the sharp tip, this I was using it to try to drill holes in the roof of the van when I was installing the fan, and it wasn't working. And when I just used it on this plastic lid, it was really tough. So it's like, I guess these are only supposed to be used for wood because they were useless. And then I tried these ones, which I did not try on the roof, and they went through like butter. So maybe I'm going to have to try these when I make holes in the walls to put the walls up. I got the hole done by basically chiseling away at it with the X-Acto knife, but because I couldn't cut from the top, it's not really round, it's a little jagged. So the tube does fit through, but now I have to figure out a way how to seal around. And I also want to try to figure out if there's a way that when I need to empty this, if I take this out, how I can, I don't think it's that bad if I walk around with it like this, but it would preferably have something to close off the top. Maybe I can find another similar lid somewhere. I'm going to measure how much of the tube that I need to fit between the jug and the diverter, and then I'm going to cut a piece off and I'm going to stick it on there. It looks like it fits. I was really close to messing it up because I forgot that there was a discrepancy between where this goes down and this, and the hole is further from the wall in the bucket than it is in the diverter. So if I didn't cut it a little bit extra long, I would have had a problem. You'll be surprised to know that I actually did not use an X-Acto knife this time. I actually used a saw. Okay, I ended up using an X-Acto knife, but I just to clean it up. Just to like smooth it out a little bit. So how I have it set up is I have the jug inside with the tube connecting it to the diverter, and I put a bag. First I would actually have a real plastic bag, at least one plastic bag inside, and then I would put this inside the plastic bag. This is a biodegradable plastic bag. So the idea is that if I'm out in the backwoods or something, I can take this out and bury it if I need to use it like in the middle of the night or something. Or I feel like this is too much information, but at the same time people need to know, like when I first started this, I was really concerned about how this was going to work out. So this is the idea. Obviously I haven't tried it yet. And then I have the lid that's going to go on top, That is just like, whoop, well, you know, when it's on properly. And there's the lid, which is, well, the seat, which makes it like a normal toilet basically. It looks really flimsy and scary, but it's actually super sturdy and super comfy, so don't be scared. So then on the inside, I'm going to put some peat moss, some cedar chips, maybe even some kitty litter or whatever, just to like keep the bottom dry. And then as like a flush for the time being, I'm going to try this anyways, to use like a dry flush system where I'm just going to bury it with peat moss, and I'm going to try to get like this bacteria stuff that basically eats, like digests and composts the, you know, stuff inside. Just like one of those $1,000 toilets that everyone buys. This is basically the same thing for about $100. So this is the new grill, and today we're gonna make it the right color. Again. Okay, let's figure this out now, shall we? I don't know if this is gonna work. Whoop. Yep, you got it. Well, gonna need both hands for this. This thing was basically attached by one end with a zip tie. So I cut that off, and now I'm actually looking for bolts and nuts in my random bag of stuff in my toolbox, because it does need 3. 1, 2, 3, and there were none in there. So yeah, trying to find something that fits. I am not succeeding so far, though I have found several options. The screws will probably work, but the nuts will not. They are just a little bit too big, so I'm gonna have to look in my other toolbox and see if I have something, or go back to the store without a grill. I just ended up buying new bolts and nuts because I could not find any that fit any other. I had bolts, I had nuts, none of them went together. So I just spent a whole big $1.50 on 3 for the grill, and hopefully they fit and this will be done. I also tried looking for something that matches this while I was there. This is a part of the floor because there's a part of the floor missing here. And I found something that was pretty close in color. It wasn't exactly the same, but close enough that I would have gotten it, except that they only sell it by box. I really only need like one little piece, and they only sell it by box. So I'm obviously not going to spend $100 just to replace one tile that's probably going to come back off. It's just this one piece right here. It's, I guess, about a half a foot. It goes to about here, and it obviously came off for a reason, because of high traffic, maybe the rain or whatever else. So I'm not going to spend $100 to replace this one piece, and then it's going to come off. I guess I'm going to go through the whole box just replacing them. So I'm going to get something else and put it there. We'll see what it looks like. I don't know what exactly I was thinking when I was in such a hurry to buy nuts to hold the bolts in, since I don't see how I'm supposed to get my hand back there to actually put a nut on. Not only did I not need any nuts, but this is too big. That's super great. I found these 3 in my tool bag full of random screws and leftover pieces from IKEA. I tried it and it fits. So this is what we're going with. We're going with these. So I'm gonna put them all in like halfway and then I'm gonna tighten them up. Apparently the side holes are a completely different size. So now I gotta find screws that fit there. I can't find anything that fits. It's either too big or too small. So I think I'm actually gonna go with the zip ties. Put the zip ties back on the side ones, but at least I have this one holding it in the middle. So for this side, I'm gonna try a smaller screw. Let's see if it actually does work. So far, not great. Okay, I think I found one that fits. I'm gonna play with it for a bit and see if I can get it in. So there was a piece of metal there that was blocking the way I moved it and it fell off. So now I have to use the zip tie on the side as well, which is fine because it's a lot easier and quicker. So I'm gonna get this done because it's obviously raining now. Works for me. That's tight. I'm just gonna pull on that one and shove it back there. Whoa. It's starting to rain pretty hard. But look at that, it's done. And now I'm going to go inside. I wasn't totally done when it started to rain. We still have to put this part back. I think we're done. If you've been watching this vlog for a while now, you know that I have mentioned that I thought I was going to be leaving in May. I thought that I was being divinely told that I would be leaving in May. And as June started to creep up, I started to realize that that wasn't going to happen. And I thought about it. I'm like, well, am I supposed to just push through and make sure that I leave by June? And it just did not feel right to me. I felt like for once in my life, I really want to do this right. My parents have put me in a position where I've had to run on multiple occasions in my life. And every time I run, I'm never ready. And then I go out into the world and I struggle. And this time I was like, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to let them make me struggle. I'm not going to let them put me into a position where I'm running when I'm not ready. So I'm taking my time to get the van the way that I need it to be so that I'm comfortable when I leave, which means putting up the walls so that the cats don't scratch the insulation off, so that I can put in a bed and sleep on the bed instead of sleeping on the ground and having boxes all over the place, having the storage space under the bed, having things organized before I leave. And I needed some time to do that. I needed at least a few more days to do that. It's always a few days, right? So I took that time. I decided I was going to take that time and leave in June, hopefully. Plus, I realized that at the end of May, we were actually coming into Mercury retrograde. And if for anybody who knows what that means, it's a really bad time to make travel plans, basically. So my astrology was telling me it was the wrong time, and my gut was telling me it was the wrong time. So I'm like, well, why did I feel like I was supposed to leave in May? Or why was I getting that I was supposed to leave in May? And maybe it's a rationalization, but I realized that feeling so strongly about having to leave in May was what really pushed me to get as much done as possible in time to leave by May, or that was the plan. And if I didn't think I was going to leave in May, now that we're in June, I probably wouldn't be leaving till like August. So I needed that pressure, I needed that push. So now I can finally get out of here. And it feels like it's perfect timing right now, because I was editing the recording that I've posted by now on my other channel. I'll link it in the description again here if you're wondering what I'm talking about. The conversation that I had with my mother that I recorded, where I finally came to terms with the fact that she is also seriously a narcissist and has been sabotaging my entire life. And as I was editing it, I had to listen to it over and over again. And every time I listened to it, I started to realize more and more of the manipulation. I started to realize how much she has manipulated what I believe, what I do. And so now I'm just like, it's just perfect timing. Now is the time that I gotta get out. And I think that everything kind of happened exactly as it should.